I just want to do a quick video here to talk a little bit about how over the years I've learned how to hone in my precision on trades. And just to cut right to it, it comes down to just patiently waiting for the right level. And this trade is a perfect example of that. I was working with an institutional trader this morning, and he asked me my opinion on the NASDAQ. And it's a little nerve-wracking because it's like, whenever possible, I like to just pick and choose my setups. I like to just choose whatever looks awesome to me, and if there's any question about it, I just don't look at the chart anymore. I just don't have to worry about it. But when you get your opinion asked about something, you sort of have to have something to say normally. I mean, it's respectable to just say I don't have an opinion, obviously, but you can't say that all the time. So, I took a look at it, plotted it out, just straight out of the book, Harmonic Trading Methods, straight from Scott Carney. Didn't really do anything. I didn't really try to outsmart anything, and I came up with 48.88, and this is the top of the PRZ. So one thing that's easy to fall into is, and you see it right here, is when you're trading patterns and you see it touch part of the PRZ and come out, and I guarantee 99.9% of people, even if they're familiar with the patterns, if they're familiar with the methodology, they see this bar, and they probably before this bar is even closed, they already are just sure that that was it. They go, okay, here's the ABCD pattern, and it turned right here. All right, the PRZ, remember, I like to draw a rectangle when I'm plotting it here on Multicharts, right? We're working on the patterns plugin. That'll probably be released pretty soon. But for now, I'm just drawing these manually when I look at HSI on Multicharts. And this covers the whole range of the fibs in the PRZ, right? Well, with an ABCD pattern, there are only two. This is a 113 in this case. All right, that's all, how you identify all that. That's in the books, but that's in volume 1. But so here's your 113, here's the 1.0. Okay, so this could be above the 1.0, but in this case it's below. I draw the rectangle, outline it, and then once I've drawn the rectangle, I look at that, but then I set my real level at the end of the PRZ. That's how Scott Carney does it. That's how I learned to do it. You draw your level at the furthest end of the PRZ, and that's the number. And you got to have that exact number in your head. Okay. So this happens. In reality, it looks like this. And you go, son of a gun. And this is where, and I'm going to start to sound a little Tony Robbins on you, but this is where believing in yourself really comes into play. Because if you're coming at this from a negative perspective, going, I always have bad luck, my trades always go wrong, the market's always against me, I'm just unlucky. If you're trading with that mindset, which is the mindset of most day traders, most of the time, you're gonna jump in late on this trade, or early, actually. You're going to jump in early, late, whatever it is. You're not going to get the right timing. You're not going to get precision on this trade if you have that mindset, because this is going to be confirmation. It's something called confirmation bias. It's a psychological phenomenon. It's really worth looking up. If you're a trader, you should definitely be aware of that bias. And it works in a lot of ways. It's relevant in a lot of ways to trading, but one way that for sure it's relevant is that if you're coming in with a negative mindset, you're going to go, up, typical. Just my luck. This is what always happens to me. And you're going to think you missed it, and then this happens. And that's how you nail the top tick of the NASDAQ to the cent an hour before it happens. And I wouldn't do this kind of stuff if I hadn't have sat down right next to Scott Carney and watched him do these things. And this is how mechanical he is when he trades. He really is to the cent. Now, I mean, it's not always going to reverse on the cent all the time, but that's how he puts his positions on. He doesn't try to outsmart the patterns at all. So when I got this level plotted and called it out, I had to have that mechanical mindset. I had to look at it and not try to outsmart it and go, well, knowing my luck, it'll turn early, and and then the guy will think I'm stupid or something like that. I just mechanically plotted out, and I gave a pretty decent level today for reference. And I plotted, and of course, I was referencing HSI. I'm looking at HSI in combination with the patterns, and that's the beauty of syncing the two up, is that you're looking for the pattern to dial in, that you're looking for HSI to get your eye in the right place and to use as confirmation. So you're using HSI to decide what patterns you want to trade and where you're going to make your entries. And then once you've got that plotted out, you've got your levels right here. So you've got environment down here, and then you've got exact levels up here. And we put those two together, you've got a pretty nice situation. As you can see, RSI was pretty good here, but this is why we developed HSI. This is what Scott and I wanted specifically. It was something with this exact amount of responsiveness and this sort of synchronization with the patterns. And it's a little bit of a sacrifice because it takes a really long time for HSI to plot on the chart, because it takes a lot of price data to look at to get going. But once it gets going, this is the kind of stuff you get. You get this sort of sync up, and then, RSI, it's good. This is a divergence, but it doesn't really give you a true signal. You could find divergences like this all day long, and be, just have a rough time with it, basically. I mean, you have to have things be really specific in trading. That's how real life is. When you're just scrolling back, looking through the chart, everything looks great. But you have to have this kind of precision when you're actually trading. And so that's why we developed HSI. That's why the signal is the way it is. We had a cross out on this bar. We plot our automatic level right here. This is our reference level. And then here's the entry level. This is the actual pattern itself right here. And so when it lines up that way, that's when you know that you're going the right direction. That's how you know you're on the right track, is when you get things lining up to this degree. And this is all stuff I got straight from Scott Carney. So just wanted to go over this and kind of, it's just a little word of encouragement, a little bit of a reminder. If you think things are turning early on you, keep that level. Keep that level. Have the number in your head and don't worry about it if this happens, because these are the kinds of numbers that give you the high of the day. So just want to end on that. Quick little video. I haven't put anything new in a while, but we're getting ready to release a lot of new HSI stuff soon. We're translating it to other platforms, getting ready to release it on Multicharts. So just felt like this was a good time to pump out this video. Thanks.